Good evening. My name is Matthew Martin, and this is for Fundamentals of Public Speaking. This is my demonstrative speech, and let's begin. Well, as you can tell, if you look around, my walls are a little bare, and that's because we are moving. We're moving into a new apartment. So, when I heard the professor's ideas on maybe do some cooking, food you like to make, well, I make homemade Chinese. And guess what? My wok is packed up in a box. So, I'm going to the next best thing. Now, my wife did come to me and say, honey, why don't you show them how to properly pack a box when moving? And I thought to myself, that's a great idea. You want me to do work. So guess what? I'm going to teach you the most imperative thing to know, especially when you work in an environment that you have access to copy paper. And that's to make a paper airplane. Now, if you didn't know this, some have given credit to the Chinese almost 2,000 years ago for the development of the paper airplane. Some people say it was Leonardo da Vinci when he was working on some of his drawings. But you know what? It was one man. One man who is actually given credit to the modern paper airplane. And that is Jack Northrop. Now, that name might sound familiar. To first talk about his early years, he was a draftsman for Lockheed and Martin. The same Lockheed and Martin that makes the stealth bomber. But you also might know his name from Northrop Grumman, who also makes airplanes today. So, on with all the history lessons, let's get on to the fun stuff. I'm going to show you how to make your basic paper airplane. Now, the first thing you can do is you want to start with a normal sheet of paper, as so. With that normal sheet of paper, you need to symmetrically fold it along the long edge, so that both sides are equal, giving you a nice little crease down the center. With that, we go on to step 2. Now, I tell you what, you don't have to be an engineer to build this. Look at me. Step 2. Once you have the fold down the middle, you're going to take the top corners and you're going to fold them into the center. This is where we start building the body of the airplane. From there, we'll go on to the next fold. Now you have those folds from the center here. You grab the outside edge and bring those into the center. Now, we do that, this starts giving kind of rigidity to this body. And when we get completely folded, you'll see why. Now, from there is some of the easiest parts. You pretty much end up with something like this. Now, up here, this is where we're going to start looking at our wings. Now, how you can fold that determines your wing width. Whether you want them wide, and fold them shorter, make them shorter. Some of the shorter ones, great dive bombers. You get the longer wings, more of a glider. Now, as you can see, once we get to this part, we now have a pretty rigid body. This is what's going to help give it some weight, let it have the ability to glide. Now, from this point, you're pretty much done. But you know what? Many kids and many classroom hours have spent developing this even further. You go through here and start tearing, making flaps, bending these more. You can even get one of these to do a loop-to-loop. Now, you see it's all done? And you let her fly. And just like that, you've made a paper airplane. You have made hours and hours of fun for someone. I promise you, you have kids, grandkids, teach them how to make a paper airplane. Your house will be absolutely trashed at the end, but you can do so in the comfort of your lazy boy while they're making paper airplanes. Thank you, and everybody have a good evening.